I'm Daniel Ong. I'm a Singaporean. I'm a policeman with the Singapore Police Force. So this actually hits pretty close to home. My sister, who's brighter than me, she graduated high school and she decided that, hey, she doesn't want to go to university straight away. She wanted to learn from the university of the world. What she did was that she went to General Assembly. She took the 3 months course, and now she's a programmer. She's a junior developer at a startup. I see that programming's great. She's able to program and she's able to build and she's able to learn a lot of things. At the same time, I think she also probably needs, that safe space of university where she can take classes, very different subjects, and just have that safe space to question, to learn. And also sometimes universities are best designed to teach and to coach, algorithms, I don't know how many places you could actually learn algorithms and have that sort of rigor, where if you just learn them in industry, you sort of hack your way through, there wouldn't be that rigor, But at the same time, I think it's pretty good for people to take 1 or 2 years off, before they go to college, in between college, and really learn those things just from the university of real life. Programming as a skill is always very frustrating. In government, what you do is you design systems for society. In programming, you design systems for instructing bytes and data and processes for data to move, for information to move. And all of that systems, that information, everything, is all just stored in one programmer's head, or a team of programmers. And that complexity is overwhelming, And over time, we've developed, as programmers, we've designed the systems to deal with it. There's documentation, there's tests, there's abstraction, frameworks for abstraction. And you're dealing with systems that someone else built. You can't throw them all away. You can't. You've got to take them and find a way to transform them without breaking everything. I think that's incredibly frustrating, but it's also incredibly rewarding when you figure it out. It's like when it runs and when the tests don't fail, and someone uses it. It's like, wow, I did it. And people always have this, that, oh wow, it worked. And it's like the surprise / like, oh my son, it works. That's incredibly rewarding. As programmers or just as people, what we try to do is we try to have this toolbox that we carry with us everywhere. In this toolbox there are 3 parts, First part is technical skills. The second part is like the ways of thinking, the more humanities. And the third part is relationships. For someone like my sister, she didn't go to university. She's learning a lot about relationships right now, and she's learning the technical skills at work. But when you go to university, what it is that, in the real world, you would have to walk so far, work so hard, to just fill that toolbox with a few things. When you go to university, it's like going to a supermarket. There are all these shelves full of skills, full of relationships, full of safe spaces where you can like slowly just take stuff from the shelf and put it in, and I think that's a better way to think about university. I think right now there's a little bit of a scary move where people just say that, hey, I don't need school, I don't need formal education. I think it's a little bit dangerous because sometimes we forget that the best way to fill that toolbox is when you go with other people who are also filling that toolbox. And all of you you think through, how do you want to fill this toolbox? What are the things you want to put in, and what do you want to do with those toolboxes? And sometimes you just need that sort of safe space. You need that group around you which is thinking in the same way, I think there's also something to be said for programming apprenticeships. There are a few companies in Singapore which are doing it. TradeGecko is one of them. I think Carousel under Jordan will be one of them. But basically, where companies, where it's not in their interest to take a very junior developer and say, hey, we're going to spend our time and our money to train you up, all of the knowledge that you might leave. But the further back, in Germany, in these states, there are these apprenticeships, these guilds. Is there a time now where software engineers, we say, we need a software engineering guild?